Happy Sunday. It is DP with Alpha Traders, alphatraders.com, at Alpha Traders Inc. on YouTube and Twitter. Real time alerts on Twitter. Um, and then, of course, YouTube. We put our Sunday videos out every week for you to enjoy. And then sometimes we throw out a couple in the week. And let's just hop right into this. So, we saw an expansion in oil, obviously, from the Ukraine and Russia conflict. We also saw with tightening trade embargoes, cutting them off from the World Trade Organization, uh, sanctions, all those things that come along. And so the market, it came down, obviously. When energy goes up, oil and things like that, the heavy weighted stocks start to move down, and obviously the S&P is heavy tech more than anything else. So if Apple and Tesla and Nvidia and Google and Facebook, if they're obviously not doing well, it's going to be hard for the S&P to move up. But I think moving forward, I think we're going to get a relief here. We need an exhaustion candle coming up here, but with energy and gold, really running, and then obviously commodities, wheat just, I think it gapped up again and it went to all-time highs and limit up, and they had to stop trading. So it's pretty unprecedented what we're seeing in the commodities section. And it's kind of almost like the unprecedented action we saw during COVID for tech stocks. So there will be it's a little bit of a renaissance there, and it's good for farmers and not good for pretty much everybody else. But at least the farmers are doing well. They got to have their moment too. Um, but let's actually talk some numbers here. Let It already gapped down 71. ES did here. Obviously, I actually have a short that I have a 42.50 target on for this short. Hopefully, I hit it here soon. It looks like we will. If we change to the 5 minute here live as we go, I had a short from the close on Friday, and it gapped down. Got about 45 points on that one, and then I let it move back to 78. And once it couldn't take back 81, I shorted that, and I'm about 25 points up right now, and I'm looking to get 30 out of it. I'll probably get it. I think it's just dissipating. It's just getting lower and lower, and volumes, really dried up. I mean, we're talking about 700. Now this one, it moved down about 4,000. You can see if anybody, you can see if it gets anywhere, and anybody wants to hit this real quick, it can go down fast. Um, But right now we're looking at, this is average for overnight 700 lots. That's just flatlining. I'd expect this to do 42.50 and then bounce back to 42.81. Um, 42.81 has been my number. 42.82 technically. And a retake of 82 would be a bullish move, probably back to 43.10, 43.14, somewhere in there. It's a mean reversion back between 43.40, which was the high, and then back down to 42.80. So would expect some sort of mean trade there. So going into this week, um, obviously bearish on the S&P and Nasdaq. Um, I do feel like gold. We'll go to GLD. I want to just touch on GLD and other commodities, but we'll start with GLD. Um, it's already going to be, GLD obviously is the ETF, not the best moving thing in the world, but it's a really good ETF to use when gold is shooting up like this. You might have a day where you could catch a trade tomorrow, but you're already in territory. It's already up 250 points, over the last week or whatever. So let's go back to futures here. I actually think there's a lot of support here, in terms of not actual numbers, but support in the actual market. Sorry about that. I think we're actually going to get. I think if we open under 42.82, I would think we get down to 42.10, maybe 4,200 on a move like that. I do think, as I've been saying, there's a bracket here between about 42 and 44.50. You can call it 4,500 if you want, but I'm calling it about 44.50. And there's a little bracket here that we've kind of been playing in now for a while. If you go to the daily, Ever since we had that impulse move down, you could say that this was a bracket, and these aren't arbitrary lines either, but you could say this right here, you could say that's a bracket, I guess. But that's kind of the bracket. 40 I had 42 to 4,500, but this is a double top off this, so 4,600. And we've really been playing in this range, but if you just make the line here, you can really see that it was just an excess. And then it retested the excess, got a double top off of it, and then it started coming down. And now ever since really since then, since this January, end of January, been playing in this range. And lows have been bought. This low's been bought. And I wouldn't be surprised if this low right here is bought also. A lot of people would say we're going to fall. This is just another test, third test on it. We're going to go down. And you know what? We might impulse back down. We might go back down to right here 4160, 4180, 4190. This range right here. And that's okay. That's what you really want to see is you don't want to see 4100 broken. That's really what you want. If you look at it from a macro perspective, you know, then you have 4,000 and then ultimately you have 38, 33. This is a big area in here. Um, Under 3977, 4,000 somewhere in there. Under that, you're going to get another 100. I don't see us getting under 3,800. But for this week, I'm looking for a down move here. Obviously, going into tomorrow, I would think we take a bounce. I would think that wheat and corn and oil and gold are running really, really, really hot right now. And that gives us an opportunity in ES to buy a 4,200 bounce. Again, it might be 4,160. We'll see how it plays out, but that 4,200 area. Um, and watch that for a bounce into later into the week, most likely. And then we'll see if we play from there. I'm not. Everybody gets so worked up. They see all this red lately, and they're not used to it, and that's okay. I'll be honest with you. On Friday, I had an awful day. I just couldn't get the range for some reason. I had the range. I bought the range, and then I got 20, 30 points. And I'm like, man, that's about it. And my options. I think I was down 40 some thousand on Friday, and still green for the week, obviously, because earlier in the week it was just a fire trading week. But take profits. Got to be aggressive in this one. I think 4,200 is a good level to buy. I would say 4,160 to 4,200. So what I'm going to be doing is hopefully we get to this 4,250. Hopefully before I go to bed today, and then I'll just sit and I'll wait to the morning to see what happens. If we open up below 42.82, probably going to go down. And I'll play that short back to 4,200. I'll probably take profit at 42.10 just to front run it, lock in profits, and then we'll see from there where it wants to hang out. Does it bounce? Does it not? We'll see if climatic action happens on the sell side. But I do think there's going to be an opportunity to buy. I think people will respect this area here. Because I don't think the market's so bad and I think things are so overbought in other sectors, and you're looking at growth, like, I mean, you're talking about like C Limited is $97. Etsy's 150, by the way. It shows you what kind of great company Etsy is. And then you have other gross things like, even Zoom's at 100. W's at 124. I mean, Square is almost at 100. There's a lot of growth that you could trade off of this and get a nice move. I mean, I think that's what's really happening is they're running money into oil. They're running obviously from the situation, and then I think ultimately they're going to come back to growth here. My guess is right when they do the rate hike, I think that's when you'll see growth go because they price in the rate hike. You know how it's that buy the rumor, sell the news. It's the same type of thing, except you're selling the rumor and buying or yeah, selling the rumor and buying the news. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna put out a few more videos here tonight on some names, and we'll go over some commodities. Again, alphatraders.com. Hit that like, hit that follow. If you like what we do, check us out. You're always free to come be a member, and we'd love to have you.